What up, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy Drink and Grow Rich. Happy October. I got some Oktoberfest. Some people are a fan of Sober October. I'm a fan of Hungover October. Cheers, everybody. It tastes like fall. What's going on, everybody? This is the show where you ask me random shit. I talk for way too long about nothing, but sometimes really smart shit. And I, at the end, Venmo somebody for beer money. Whoever asked me the best question. Cheers, Aaron. Drop and give me 50. And what's going on? I'm a married man now. What do I think about burning bridges? I don't know if you mean like a terrorist who burns a bridge in a city, but burning bridges in general? Oh no, I think bridges are overrated. Like if you're gonna leave a company, fuck that company, burn the bridges. I mean, it depends. But like, who gives a shit? If you're leaving to people and you're never gonna see them again, who cares how your relationship is? I don't know. Also, a lot of entrepreneurship advice and attitude doesn't like apply to, the corporate world and stuff like that. One thing I learned about is when I hire for a big job again, I never call the references. I've never really done that or do that. But in the future, when I hire for like a big job, I've always trust my instincts. I've always not really cared about the resumes too much. But in the future, when I hire for a big job, I think I'm going to call references. I think that can give you some good insight. So that's something to consider. But for me, fuck it. I mean...
Did you see the one who said advice for someone who is 17 trying to move out?
Advice for someone who's 17 trying to move out. First thing I got to say is, that's great that you're moving out. The best feeling in the entire world for a young person and for any person. Oh... People asked the question before, what's better, to be a kid or be an adult? To be an adult is 1,000,000 times better. You can do whatever you want. And as long as you're semi-responsible and have some money, life is so much better. You're going to feel amazing if you move out. You're only 17. You want to move out. Don't accept your parents' money. Don't accept your parents' pressure. Move out. Figure it out. My advice is do it. Do it as quickly as possible. Pay your own cell phone bill. Pay your own rent. You'll feel fucking incredible. Do you watch the Social Dilemma documentary? So I did watch that. Actually, I watched like the first 45 minutes and I was like, oh, I already know all this. Like I was already very aware of that. And am I addicted to my cell phone? Yeah, absolutely. So that Social Dilemma is about how Silicon Valley is getting us all addicted to our cell phones and our messages and our notifications and how bad that can be for people. And, yeah, I already knew that. I'm addicted to my phone for sure. But I just trust myself that I'm not going to, like, it was all about, like, 15, 16-year-old girls where they're addicted to their phones and addicted to their likes and their self-confidence is going to be destroyed if they don't get enough likes on their post. And Silicon Valley has created everything in their world for this to be their one piece of acceptance that they get, and they don't get the likes or they get a negative comment and they're hurt and their whole life is destroyed. Like, that's not really a problem for me. I have enough self-confidence that it's not going to like ruin my life. But I already knew a lot of that, but it's very interesting. And yes, you should have all your feelings come from you internally, no matter what.
Someone said advice on growing a landscaping business.
Advice on growing a landscaping business? It's a tough business to scale. It's a tough business to scale because you're limited by how you can get to a neighborhood in your local area. But just, dude, social media, get some beautiful ass lawns. Even grab some from Google Images and put them on your thing. I would say have a beautiful social media presence, and I feel like landscaping business is what a lot of people do when they're like 17 and they're just starting because it's an easy thing to kind of start. You just get a lawnmower, but it does teach you the fundamentals of business. Buy one machine, get some clients, build off it, hire some employees, get more area. It's a very basic business, kind of like t-shirts. So go for it. Have a great social media presence with very beautiful lawns. Get good references. And get the neighbors. I personally hired my landscaper for one reason. It's because he was my neighbor's landscaper. And I figured it would make everyone's life easier if you could do two lawns right next to each other. So grow your little connections within neighbors to neighbors to neighbors. People like that. They burn bridges and they're successful. That's where the question came from. At work on a call, just wanted to pop in and say, hey, Ian Roth, what up, man? You're a hero. If you were offered $10,000, do you think you would get on social media for an entire month? Can't look nothing? Fuck no. $10,000, that's chump change. And I personally, no, I wouldn't do it for $10,000. No, I would absolutely not do it for $10,000. I might do it for $250,000. But I mean, does that involve business for social media, for United Monograms? Because if we have a great post and we run an ad on it, we can make $10,000 on that one post. So I would not, for $10,000, get off all social media for a month. Absolutely not. $250,000? I'd consider it. I'm trying to move out as soon as I can, and I kind of needed those words. Get the fuck out, dude. Get the fuck out of that house. Move out, pay your own cell phone bill, pay your own rent, live off of McDonald's, gain some weight because you're going to be fat because McDonald's makes you fat. Who cares? Get out of your house and set your life up where you pay your own bills. You'll feel fucking incredible. Get the fuck out. If your parents pay for everything for you and your parents do everything for you, they control who you become. You should control who you become, not your parents. I'm sure their parents are great people. I have 16 employees. Doug Richards. Oh my God, you guys see this ring on my finger? Yeah, I'm married now. I slept with it on? I've been too busy fucking. No, I take it off when I sleep. And I've been remembering to put it back on. It's only been like 6 days. But
you want me to put that on Instagram?
I don't know, maybe. Do they work from home or at the office? All my employees are at the office because we have a physical facility, a physical warehouse where we get the product shipped to our office and then they need to be printed and embroidered and shipped. And the customer service phone is an iPhone that is at our office. So all my employees come to the office. And in the future, as I maybe build out a sales team or a website development squad or something like that, that could be virtual. But all my employees are at the office. Moxie Mom said, hey, I just got married, so it's the first time. Black ring means you're a swinger? I didn't know that. I got a cheap ring. This ring was only like $70. We did like a little experiment. My first wedding ring, figured I'd probably lose it, which I haven't yet. But if people ask me so far, what's the one difference you feel in getting married? The only difference I feel is like this uncomfortableness on my hand. I've been doing a lot of like this and like I'm very like aware of it. I guess it's been 6 or 7 days and I'm getting a little more used to it. So I'm not a swinger just yet after 6 days of being married, but I didn't know that. I didn't know. Look into groove rings. I don't know what those are. I know that Shelby ordered me some rubber rings, which I haven't put on yet. Because again, I got married very recently. But I think that I like the idea of the rubber rings. And I heard about that some people, when they get married, what's popular now or something is getting a tattoo. And I think that's more commitment than the actual paperwork of a marriage. I mean, 50% of people get divorced. And yeah, I mean, I don't think that's going to happen to me, of course. But that's crazy to get the tattoo. Like a tattoo of a ring. It actually makes a lot of sense if you think about it. It makes a lot of sense because it's always there. And it's like a huge commitment. So I actually support the idea of a tattooed wedding ring. I really do. It's a silicone rubber ring. Yeah. I got some of those for whenever I lose this one or whatever. But I heard some funny stories about wedding rings over this weekend because I was talking to people. A couple of people's parents had to get their wedding ring sawed off because they had to take like an MRI. And I guess if you gain weight or something and it gets stuck on there forever. My Uncle Tim said he's had his wedding ring not off his finger for like 20 years. Like it just never leaves his finger. That makes me a little, sometimes I take it off just to like, let's see. I take it off just to like know that I can take it off. Ugh. If I was Frodo, I would stop being invisible. You know how Frodo puts it on and becomes invisible? I like the fact that I can take it on and off. I'm a little nervous to have it be like always on, even though that's the whole point of it. So, whatever. Shelby, you missed it. Sean already said something crazy. I'll wave to Shelby. What up, my beautiful bride, my beautiful wife?
Did you see someone say something about
I'll take a sip while Brandon figures it out.
when you met your girl as a artist? Upside down pineapple is also another symbol for swinging.
Got a lot of swingers on here, huh?
Yeah.
Upside down pineapple.
Yeah, that's what Doug Richards said.
Doug Richards, you know a lot about swinging, my man. Let's go back to Raxian. I turned 18 in January and I'm trying to avoid relationships till my life is set straight so then I can start a business to stay on track. Interesting thought. So I personally felt, for me when I started my business, I had a girlfriend, my current wife. And I felt that it was better because we were actually doing that. We were doing it together. Not like so much at first. She was a kindergarten teacher, but she was always like involved in what I was doing. And I felt like if I was single, I would have much more of an urge to like go out on the weekends. And I'm a committed person as far as I'm committed to whatever I'm doing. I'm committed to my business. I'm committed to my relationships. I'm committed to the things I'm committed to. And if I'm single and the thing I'm committed to is hooking up and finding girls, then I put a lot of energy and effort into that. And that energy and effort into the single life could take away from my effort and commitment to building a business. So ever since I've been building my business, I've been in a committed relationship, and I personally feels that it has helped me because it takes away this effort and it puts the effort towards just the business. And the relationship part you still got to work on and everything like that, but the seeking of a relationship is something that should take effort. Like it's something that if I were single, I would be constantly looking to go out. I've never been in an age where there's like Tinder and I've been single, but I always thought that would be cool and that would be fun. And I always thought it would be a good way of taking some of that burden of pre-gaming Friday night, going out Friday night, getting in a cab or Uber, getting to the bar, trying to find the girls, a couple girls there, talk to them, getting their numbers, texting them Saturday, pre-gaming Saturday, going out Saturday. Like all that stuff is fun, but it gets exhausting if your only objective is just to find the right girl. And then if you have Tinder or some type of online dating thing, I feel like it lowers some of that burden a little bit where you can cut through all that pre-gaming, going to the bar, finding them, and do some searching like on your own time to get a connection and maybe go on a date. So I think that online dating is very effective, especially for somebody who wants to start a business. And you got to put a lot of effort and energy and commitment towards your business. Absolutely. Like you have to obsess over it every second of every day. I've been doing it for 9-10 years. I've been obsessing over my business every waking second, dreaming about it, waking up, going every second, thinking about my business. And it's just taking off. It's just doing well now. And I got a long way to go. I got a long way to continue to obsess over my business. But you got to put that obsession towards it. And if you're being pulled in other directions with other things that you should obsess over, then now some people get a girlfriend and they say that they have to obsess over that, spending money on dates, spending money on and trying to impress them. I understand that point of view, but it all depends on like what person you get and how you set it up and how you kind of maneuver it. But you want to really obsess over one thing at one time, ideally. So basically just date someone who has the same goals and someone who is very supportive. I guess that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. I guess I'm saying a relationship should never be a burden, or else why the fuck would you do it? A relationship should always add value to your life. If your relationship with a guy or a girl is a burden, then it's not good. It should always be an additional benefit to your life. And it should take pressure off of you so that you can go achieve the life that you want and not have to worry about the relationship. I think I'd be a great single guy hooking up with girls all the time, but that's not where I want to put my energy because that's not going to result in amazing business at the end. So Am I lucky that I found Shelby? Am I smart that I found Shelby? I think it's a combination of both. But the way that we've shaped our life has been amazing. And it's been strategic the whole way. We've been focused on our business. We've been focused on the things that matter. And we've had something to bond over as a couple too. So we've been through a lot of ups and downs, which has strengthened our relationship and our business. And we've done everything together. So I've maximized all this effort in one direction, relationship and business. And that's worked for me. That's worked for me. We own a business. We live and breathe it. Never have a real day off. Of course not. It's where 90% of your happiness or misery comes from. Are you talking about a relationship or a business? I mean, they're the same thing. I think a better comparison for a business is not necessarily a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I think a better comparison for a business is something that, I don't know, maybe I'll have soon, I think a better comparison for a business is a baby. Because if you leave it alone, it'll die. It'll just die. If you just leave it alone and ignore it for days and weeks. If you have a business and you ignore it for days and weeks, it'll just die. If you have a girlfriend or boyfriend and you ignore it for days and weeks, they'll text you, they'll contact you. So a better comparison for that is a baby. And a baby needs to be nourished and loved and taken care of and blossomed until it can take care of itself. And on average for a human being, that's about 15 to 17 to 18 years. I think it's about the same for a business. Man, that's fucking awesome. RAXYNN, Raxon. You're the winner right now, man. I appreciate your insight. Dude, can you mentor me by any chance? What do you think I'm doing right now? I'll mentor you once you get the fuck out of your house. I feel like I can learn a lot from you. I agree. The one thing I think you should focus on now, see, here's the hard part. When I graduated college, I quit my job and I knew for a fact that I don't give a fuck about anything. I need to be an entrepreneur and I need to start a business. I need to. Now, what luxury did I have at that point? I had the luxury of being able to live in my mom's basement. And we had this beat up car that was not mine that I paid for the gas and I paid for, but it was paid off, I guess. So it was my car. So I got to have a car and I got to live in my mom's basement, which is no nice basement or anything like that. And I had those kind of baseline bills paid for so that I could just fail and figure out my business until I had enough money to get my own place and stuff like that. Now, if you don't have a business yet and don't have any income or revenue, that's a hard thing to do at the same time. It's a hard thing to do at the same time to pay all your own bills and start a business. Because here's the thing, when you start a business, you're not gonna have any fucking money because your business is gonna suck. Your business is gonna be terrible. It's gonna be so stupid. It's gonna be so dumb. It's gonna be such amount of incredible effort that will result in no positive results for a long time. Starting a business is one of the dumbest things anyone could do logically, especially if you're 18, 19, 21, 22, because you're so fucking stupid. I still take pride and say that I'm stupid. I still try to hone that same energy of a stupid, arrogant 18-year-old in my business, because there's something special there when you're 18 and you're arrogant and you are arrogant might not be the right word. A better word might be a better word would be you think you're invincible. You just don't understand all the logic of the things that will go wrong. And if you sit around and think about the logic of all the things that are definitely going to go wrong, any logical person would say, well, why would I choose this path when everything's going to go wrong? But if you're 18, you're stupid, and you think everything's going to go right, then you go on this path. And then you go through all the bullshit. And then by the time you're 22, 23, 24, you're a little bit over the hump. And that's what I did. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't live in my mom's basement. So that's the chasm that you're dealing with about wanting to get out and be on your own, but also wanting to start a business. That's a tough little thing to deal with. And you got to figure it out on your own way. Right. So it's tough to pay for your own cell phone bill. It depends were you the same one talking about landscaping earlier? Because say you got $500, bar mitzvah money, whatever, $500. You buy a lawnmower with that $500. Well, that could be your $500 down payment for a new apartment. And now you buy the lawnmower for $500. And now you got to spend all your time go and try to find someone that'll let you mow their lawn for $20, meaning you can't get a job at a grocery store that could help you pay the money to get out of your mom's basement. It's a tough little thing to go over, to be an entrepreneur and to want to move out and be on your own. But just know, maybe you stay with your parents for 2 more years to start your business, but just know that your goal is obviously to pay all your own bills and get out. So deal with it on your own level. But the best feeling in the world is to be a young person and then be a little bit older person, early 20s, and pay for all your own shit. It is the most amazing feeling in the world. You feel like the king. You feel like the king of the world when you pay your own bills, you buy your own shit, and no one can tell you what to do. You have to learn from other successful people. Podcasts. I never had a mentor in my life. I never had anybody that was actual person help me out. Learn from books and podcasts and YouTube videos. A mentor is a valuable thing. In 1808, it's a waste of fucking time to have a mentor now because there's so much knowledge on the internet and books. Good. You seem like you're on the right track. Raxin. Rax-yin _ And I appreciate that. You got any more specific questions, hit me up with it, baby. Who's your favorite podcast? By the way, Raxin, can you do me a favor? Can you go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Sean Lauer Show? Please. Please subscribe. I have no friends. All right, I'll probably see it if you do it, so just fucking do that shit. Who will win tonight? You want to know who will win tonight? Me. In a game of beer pong. What are you referencing, Brandon? You think everyone just knows about the NBA? Will you today condemn and denounce white supremacy? Sure. Sure. But what about the other bad people that are not white supremacists? Yeah. Nico. What up, Nico? Yeah, I'll do that, sure. Joe Rogan, yeah, Joe Rogan's good, but like, if you're like, he's a kind of a waste of time if you're really young and really hungry, because it's like 3 hours and like there's a little bit of material in there. You want a 45-minute podcast that's all value. You should read Think and Grow Rich. You should read How to Win Friends and Influence People. You got to read the basic books. Like, I look back and love the years of my life, 18, 19 to like 23, where all I did was soak up knowledge. By the time I was like 24, 25, I was so sick of soaking up knowledge. I knew all of it, that then I was looking for a little bit of like entertainment on top of it because I had soaked up so much knowledge. You probably still have a lot of knowledge to soak up. So 3-hour Joe Rogan with a comedian, that's not going to be as helpful for you as like packed content, like packed into like a short book or a short snippet. So go Google top 10 successful books for business people and read them. All of them, audiobooks. My mind was blown every day for like 3 years, and it was the best 3 years of my life, by far. What's going on, baby? It's the best time of the week, Dream Grow Rich. You're reading The Magic, and I haven't finished it yet. I don't know that book.
I like The Secret.
I don't know The Magic. Trump has COVID, huh? What do you think about that?
I think it's political.
You think he's faking it?
Yeah. It gets him out of like, it gets him sympathy.
Yeah, go subscribe and come back.
And he doesn't have to deal with the debate next time.
I don't know if he's faking it, but I do think that...
He can use it for political.
I do think it's politically beneficial.
Yeah.
Because I saw like Pete Buttigieg tweet today, like, my prayers go out to the president and the first lady. Like,
Yeah, Biden did
so he's getting a little like sympathy.
from the left.
And then here's the other thing that he can do. All right, here's my ultimate opinion on Trump getting COVID. Is I think when he recovers, say it's 2 weeks from now, then it's over. Then COVID's over. I think psychologically, once he recovers, then we'll all be recovered from this whole thing. That's the part I like about it. But I mean, he's fat and he's old and he's overweight and he's unhealthy. So like, he's the worst person to get it. You know? So if he dies, like that sucks. That'd be sad. But I just don't believe that he's going to. Like, I think he's gonna be perfectly fine. He was one of the strongest minds. If there's anything I do like about him, there's a lot of bad things to say, but he is goddamn resilient. You got it. Anyone who hates him or likes him, he is resilient as a motherfucker. You gotta give him that. I'm neutral. I mean, I vote for him, but like, I think that debate was just a fucking shit show. I hated that debate. But I do think that when Trump heals from coronavirus, that'll heal the zeitgeist of the public of the coronavirus. Therefore, healing the media stories about it. Therefore, like, bringing it to a close overall. Now that, I understand how some people might say that's irresponsible because some people will still get it and still die. Yeah, I understand that point of view as well. I probably had it. Shelby got the antibodies. I definitely probably had it at some point. I never felt a sniffle for a second. I'm young and healthy, but at some point we got to live our lives. And I think this could be the final chapter, Trump getting it. And we'll see. I don't know. I mean, according to statistics, he's very likely to die. He's old and he's fat. He's overweight and he's old. I still think overweight, old people still have only like a 5% death chance. The disease isn't as deadly as they all thought it was.
Did you see the new JP video about the CDC?
Nah. COVID is so dumb. I kind of agree. Like, it's real. It's absolutely a real thing. It's absolutely something. Well, remember when we did that like 15 days off for like the whole federal government? Like, that was probably necessary. That was probably good. It's crazy. I mean, it's something that's never happened since the 1920s. This spread through the whole world like this is significant. It's noteworthy. It is valid. But yeah, I think it's dumb too. And a lot of people have died, but the funny thing about South Park, anyone see the new South Park?
Yeah.
So they had a lot of funny jokes in it. One of it was the cops took over the school and they made the kids comes back and they shot Token. And Token's the one black kid and they shot him. And they said, Token is in the hospital due to coronavirus. And Stan's like, well, you shot him. And they're like, yeah, well, we were in the school because of coronavirus. And then we're not teachers, so we don't really know how to handle kids, so we shot him. Therefore, Token is in the hospital due to coronavirus. It's basically saying, like, a lot of the people that died and a lot of the problems, coronavirus was a little part of it. And, like, yeah, South Park is a very intelligent and smart show. And they're politically, like, hit both sides. I love South Park. It's so funny. But I do not think that... I think most people that, if you ever notice this, most people that are super scared of COVID and are very proud of wearing masks and are very like COVID-ish, are very like shameful, they're the same people that are global warming people. Did you ever notice that? Climate change people and mask people are the same people. Check that out. Think about that for a sec. See if you know somebody who's always scaring everyone with climate change. Is that the same person that's scaring everyone about masks and COVID? Think about it for a sec. People who like to virtue signal. It's people who like to shame. It's people who like to virtue signal. And it's people who enjoy the fear of an outside, unfaced, unnamed cause. And those people aren't the majority or aren't the people that run the world. Like, most people are normal. Most people want to get back to work. Most people just want to live in life. But like my mom is like neutral. she voted for Trump and now she hates Trump. She's whatever. She watches the news too much. She was very scared of the coronavirus for a long time. She always said she just wanted to get to my wedding. So she came to the wedding. I didn't see her wearing a mask too damn much. My wedding definitely wasn't the most COVID friendly thing. She's fine. And like, she just, you gotta be smart for a period of time. But like, that's an example of a normal person. Like, you care about the things you care about. And this is a little thing that everyone's interested in and stuck on it and thinking about. But ultimately, it's not going to be around forever. And symbolically, that's what I think Trump getting the coronavirus could do. 2 weeks from now, he's fine. He's back campaigning. He's back doing debates. He's back doing debates. He's back doing rallies. And I think psychologically for the country, that could be the end of the chapter book of the fear of the coronavirus. Do I believe in climate change? Fuck, dude, I don't know. That shit's way too, confusing. Biden is an old, creepy white dude, and Trump is an old, orange, crazy, loud dude. Yeah. COVID is dumb. Why don't you say that to your grandma, Nico? Oh, yeah, why don't you just go and stab your grandma in the heart? Huh? Think it's funny to stab your grandma in the heart? Okay, yeah. I'll go have fun at a wedding. Well, yeah. Why don't you just poison your grandma's food?
That happened on Facebook. I posted the CDC reports.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Well, pick one of your grandparents to die."
That is called virtue signaling.
Yeah.
And people get a high off that. There's a high off virtue signaling for sure. People so I'm not perfect. If my virtue signaling would be like, I'm an entrepreneur and you're not. Like, I don't try to do that. I try to look at things from everyone's point of view. But I just paid for my own wedding, and I have money to do stuff, and it's an interesting feeling for me because if you have a salary, you can only pay for so much stuff. But if I spend a lot of money on something, I can go earn more money the next day, and I feel cool about that. And that's an example of something that I could shame someone else over. Oh, you're not an entrepreneur, and I don't do that. It's just virtue signaling. It's putting other people down to make yourself feel better. And you definitely get some endorphins in your brain that go up from that. You feel like you're part of the smart group and everyone else is a fucking idiot. All these idiots, they're so stupid and I'm so smart. There's a high that your brain gets from that feeling. And that's what virtue signaling is. And people get it in different ways. And anyone who has to do that, it's pretty fucking pathetic. The smart people can look at things from everyone's perspective and understand empathy and feelings of all those people and give different advice to different people based upon their situations. My sister was appalled and her kids ran away from me because I was in the South. Wait, what else did Nico say?
He said he met his grandparents the day after your wedding. 85 and 89.
People could argue that's irresponsible. And then...
He spent law after that.
And then I saw my grandparents the day after the wedding. Maybe you didn't need to do that, but... My sister was appalled and her kids ran away from me because I was in the South. Well, the kids ran away from you because the kids' parents told them something. The kids don't know what the South is. They don't even know what North or East or West is, They're little kids. So it just comes back to the shaming element. And quarantining is a legitimate practice if you have it and all that. But there's a lot of shaming involved. And that's the thing that the climate change people, and the thing that the climate change people and the coronavirus people like about the shaming is that they're not shaming a person who can say words. So they can kind of create their own narrative about it. And they can kind of be well, yeah, it's look at these fires, look at this earthquake. It's coming. And the earthquake can't defend itself because it's just a thing of wind. So it can't be no, I'm actually here because of something else. They can't respond back to it. And neither can the virus. And then every time someone gets it, they can be see? So it's always something that they can fear, shame, and then have no repercussions from defending it. That's why those people like that stuff, because they get the high from the virtue signaling. I feel happy that you saw my text and gave legitimately good advice. Cheers, bro. Let's all take a sip. I got Oktoberfest. Sean doesn't believe in science. What does that even mean? Actually, Brandon, what was I just talking about like 30 minutes ago?
The hypothesis.
The scientific method.
Yeah.
We were testing out like microphones and stuff like that, and trying to see if like on Zoom, if you had a microphone on the other end, if that cuts off the sound from your one thing. And we tested it, and we made a hypothesis, and we thought we knew the right answer. And I was like, fuck, dude, we gotta just test out the final theory so that we can conclude on the hypothesis to confirm that we're right. And then he was talking into the microphone, and I was like, no, don't talk. Play the same YouTube video so we can use the same variables in the theory. So basically, like, I never forget in 7th grade, Mrs. Baker's class, the scientific method. I love that shit. It's 7 steps. Hypothesis, I don't know all 7 steps, but you have a hypothesis, then you test it with the same exact variables in different settings, and then you rehypothesize, and then you test and conclude. I love the scientific method. So I believe in science like that. Brad Dog, uh-oh. Science isn't real. But also, the one thing that science is such like a science, the word science, is such a wide-ranging topic and word that means so many different things. But one thing that in general that if you just go by the scientific method and you just go by facts and figures, that doesn't take consideration for how powerful this little pink circle is up in between our ears. Because that thing can fucking fuck your scientific method in the ass. Like the brain, the power of the mind is unexplainable, it's unscientific, and it's uncalculable. The power of the brain. That's why I'm so fascinated in it. The power of a muscle is calculated by weight and circumference and the pressure against it, the velocity, all that shit. But the power of the mind and the things it can do, it's incalculable. That's why I'm so fascinated by the power of the mind. Woo! Talk about Trump having COVID. I already did. All right, I'll say it one more time. Here's my thought on Trump having COVID. Ultimately, I think in 2 weeks he'll be healed. And if he is, that will be the end of the chapter book on the story of COVID. That's my thought. If you have any other specific questions about it, he probably got it because he's going all over the place rallying. And yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised he got it. I probably have it. Don't underestimate that pink little noodle in that cranium of yours. Oh, I do not. Okay, Kevin, you're pretty sure they can measure the power of your brain? How?
IQ test.
IQ test. No. How can they measure it, Kevin? What do you think? IQ test is a good answer, but like, what did Mark Cuban get on his SATs?
Probably not. Yeah.
Like, the only measurement that matters at the end of life, as corny as it sounds, is happiness. People get happiness in different ways based upon the way that you're wired. And if you're the smartest person in the world, or if you're the most moral person in the world, that's what an MRI is. Okay, an MRI can see if you have like a damage to your brain, but it can't calculate the power of the things that it can do, or the things it has the potential to do, or the way that it can make you believe certain things that potentially come true. Like the power of the brain, it cannot be calculated.
SPECT imaging, I think, kind of works.
SPECT imaging? I don't know what that is.
I know. What was it? Miley Cyrus did it.
What is SPECT imaging? I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna Google SPECT imaging. SPECT. By the way, J-Buck, I didn't have a honeymoon because, I don't know, I want to get back to work. I'm on my honeymoon right now. SPECT imaging. A nuclear imaging scan that integrates computer tomography and radioactive tracer. The tracer is what allows doctors to see how blood flows to tissues and organs. Give me a little more simple of a thing.
That'll probably see how it, like, optimized your brain is.
It lets your doctor analyze the function of some of your internal organs. A SPECT scan is a type of nuclear imaging test, which means it uses radioactive substance and a special camera to create 3D pictures. Okay, I believe that it can scan the blood flow of your brain. But what is the metric that is resulting in? What are they going to give you a number of how smart you are at the end? What does that shoot out? You know, if I can bench a certain amount of weight, 200 pounds, and someone else can bench 210 pounds, that person has stronger pectoral muscles than me by 10 pounds. And you can test it very simply by both of you putting 210 on. One gets it up, one doesn't. You can't do that for a brain unless I'm not understanding something. You can tell if your brain is working or if it is not. Brain measuring device. Measuring what? What metric is it measuring? Working or not? That's not a metric. IQ is interesting. I wonder what my IQ is. Because there's intelligence of somebody who can read information, learn information, and then recall information. And then there's intelligence of emotional intelligence, who a lot of times bookworms, they can't be able to read the person in front of them to telling them if there's a lie or not. There's social intelligence, there's emotional intelligence, there's book intelligence. High entropy of connections between neurons would be important though. Don't know how measured. Right, what are we measuring here? What number are they giving you at the end of the test? Electro waves, I don't know. They can obviously use it to read something that is going on in your brain. Okay, I think I proved my point. You're just saying SPECT imaging is really fancy words and big fancy definitions. What the fuck is the point? And the science of the book, Think and Grow Rich, isn't proven by any metrics. It's that you consciously tell your subconscious mind something, believe it over and over, then eventually your subconscious mind starts to believe it, therefore acting differently, therefore you can envision the person you want to be and become them over time. I can't envision being an NBA player and become that. But it's a nuanced, intelligent theory that has some proof to it, but you can't take it literally. I can't imagine myself being a 7-foot Viking because I can't grow my body more. I'm not a doctor, that's for damn sure, Kevin. That's why we have doctors. See, trusting doctors blindly is also a problem.
Yeah. I hate doctors.
You hate doctors? Why do you hate doctors?
Just can't trust them.
It's not that you can't trust them. I haven't been to the doctor in 20 years, 10, 15 years. I don't go to the doctor. I don't know. The world is nuanced. And inside of that nuance, that unexplainable nuance, is where smart people thrive. Now, what do I mean by smart people? I don't know. Money's one thing to measure of how well people can manipulate markets, but that also factors in hard work. And then happiness is the ultimate measurement. If someone dies and they are content with their life, but how do you measure happiness? You can't measure it on a scale. And then there could be an outside thing that happens to make someone unhappy. It's like, you just have to internally always love yourself, be happy, and deal with any situation that happens, and try to learn and be smart. But the problem with learning is that you learn something, and then you think that thing's true, and then you just go by that and don't take any other sources into consideration. The only person you can trust in the entire world, the only person you can trust is yourself. And if you can't trust yourself, then that sucks. And honestly, maybe I'm not the best person to give advice on this because I fucking trust myself. I'm the smartest person I've ever known. And that gives me comfort because I trust myself so fucking much.
Dick Lawyer says you need to get a checkup. And you put like
I do pee a lot. Maybe I need to get it. Street smarts. Money's life, emotional EQ, emotional intelligence, emotional quality. But yeah, dude, you gotta be able to trust yourself. And that is the one thing that people should be working on, is be able to trust yourself. Now, honestly, I've always been like internally like strong, and I'm trying to imagine a situation where I don't trust myself. That's tough. Like, I've always been able to lean on that for me personally. I've always been able to lean on the fact that I can trust myself. And I do trust myself. I do. Trust myself more than anyone in the world. And Shelby. But I'm trying to imagine a situation in which I don't trust myself. And it sounds dangerous, because then you can blindly hear other information and believe it. And that's where a lot of people get fucked up.
Brad Dog said doctors aren't real.
I think Brad Dog might be the craziest guy here. Doctors aren't real. The one thing doctors can do is prescribe you stuff.
That's about all they do.
But like, there's some value in that if you need it. Like,
But they want you to be a repeat customer
oh, of course.
for the rest of your life.
Oh, look what I have in here. A receipt. Speaking of climate change and global warming, I don't know a lot about it. I've researched it a lot and I have no idea what to think. Here's how we eliminate some paper. No receipts. What the fuck do I need this for? What do I need this for?
Old people,
What the fuck do I need this for? What do old people need them for?
they still like to collect them,
Collect them. For what?
write it down, their check, their little book.
So you understand you can go to the bank account. All right, here's the one difference between a receipt and a bank account. The bank account, so this was from Walgreens. I got this beer, and it was $32.77. So I can go to my bank, and I can see Walgreens $32.77. No problem. But what this doesn't say, well, what it doesn't say on the bank is Samuel Adams, 12 ounce, 12-pack, 6-pack, Lay's Sun Chips, Garden Salsa, and a Blue Moon, Belgian White Ale. It doesn't break it down on the bank account for what the things.
Salsa?
No, I got chips, Sun Chips. That was my lunch today. And so that's the one difference between a receipt and the bank account statement. That's the only reason. And also if you're going to return it. But who the fuck is going to return some fucking chips? Well, I know what I think the funniest thing to get a receipt for is a haircut. Because like I go get my haircut, they give me a receipt. I made the joke once, and I can't make it every time I get a haircut. But I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna return this haircut. Like, it's like fucking too late for that. What are people saying here? Would you trust yourself to fly a plane? Fuck no, I don't know how. Borderline arrogance to rely too much on yourself. Sure, but that's the thing I've been developing, is the trust in myself. Like, it doesn't mean I don't need to learn information. No, I don't trust myself to fly a plane. You put me into the pilot seat right now of a plane, I don't know how to fly it. CVS is the worst. Yeah. CVS is the worst with the receipts, man. They're seriously fucking so long. And like,
There's no option to say no receipt.
dude, okay, have you ever got something and returned it, and you actually don't need the receipt? They can look up your purchase by your credit card. The value of society to receipts is so fucking small. There's a very small value to receipts. Send it to your fucking email. Like, you don't need receipts, man. Receipts are a waste of paper. And every time someone hands me one, like, I went to the drive-thru the other day. They handed me my credit card back, and they handed me the receipt. And I just said, I just gave them the receipt back. I'm like, I don't need the fucking receipt. Receipts are one of the worst things society is like one step behind them. And if you ever go, like, there's a lot of those like smaller businesses or stores where they have like the little pad. You can click like email, no receipt. Those are good. Those are a good step forward. CVS is the worst. They've launched receipts. Totally agree. Eliminate money too. I agree. I fucking hate cash. I got a bunch of cash for my wedding. I was like, oh, this is stupid. I went right to the bank and put it in. I hate cash. It's disgusting. It's stupid. Now, I don't mean cash from a financial sense. Like, where should you hip your money? Cash, stock, bonds, Bitcoin. I don't mean it like that. Like, cash is money in your bank account. But I mean, and there's value to that. But I mean the actual green bills. So fucking stupid. So you're telling me I'm gonna go to the store and buy a soda, and you're gonna give me back big chunks of metal that I have to carry around in my pocket all day long? I have to carry around big chunks of fucking metal in my pocket. That's what changes. Oh God, I can't wait till guess what? I lost my wallet 1,000,000 times and I don't even like really have credit cards right now. Everywhere takes Apple Pay. Everywhere. Apple Pay is an incredible thing because all you need is your phone. Once we get IDs to be on phones, we're good. Then you don't need a wallet at all. You just need your phone. You need your phone to pay. You need your phone for your ID. That's it. How could you fly a plane even with a manual? You have to know where things are and when to act. I trust a pilot over you.
He's like,
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
It was something you said a long time ago. I don't know.
Of course. I don't know how to fly a plane. What?
I think he's trying to compare that to doctors, maybe.
I don't know how to fly a plane. So I would never fly until I learned. And if I wanted to learn how to fly a plane, I would have to get lessons. I would have to look it up. I'd have to learn how to do it. I don't fucking know how to fly a plane. So I don't trust myself to fly a plane. But guess what? I'm trusting myself to make that decision not to fly a plane. Like, you have to trust your own... You don't trust yourself to do anything blindly. You trust yourself to make the decisions, the right decisions. You trust yourself to make the right choices. You trust yourself to know what source is the best source to get information from. You trust yourself to listen to something that is wrong, listen to it, accept it, and not... If you, like, don't, like... say someone thinks like Ben Shapiro is like bad because he's right wing, and they're like, don't listen to that, man. I'm like, I can listen to it. It doesn't affect the internal me. Like, I trust myself not to be affected by things and then just believe them. Like, and one of those things would be flying a fucking plane. I don't know how to fly a plane. And what? Coins not needed, checks not needed, cash not needed. Honestly, a fucking men to that.
J Boop Music said digital has privacy issues. You don't care about that.
I don't care about that. I mean, so there's actually no difference between giving McDonald's my credit card or using my Apple Pay. It's the same thing. I don't care about privacy issues that much. I mean, I guess one thing about that is I know that so many people care about it more than me, that people are fighting for it and stuff like that. What? I don't know. For the person who said about privacy concerns, in your life, what purchases would you make that you don't want to be known by the credit card companies or the government? Like, what do you fear when it comes to privacy of the things you buy? I'm very curious, and I'm not being sarcastic at all. Like, I don't know if I would just like show my bank account how much money I have. I mean, if anyone would, I probably would. But I know that some clerk at Wells Fargo can see all my purchases. I don't necessarily fear that. And I'd be curious to know what a logical reason from an average person is of why they do fear that.
If you're doing anything illegal, they can track you really easily.
I mean, I guess the answer would be don't do anything illegal, but like, what would be an example of something illegal that you would do on your credit card? Like, cocaine dealers don't accept credit cards. Like, so you could take out $200 from your bank account, and then you buy the cocaine with the $200.
Yeah.
What's the like? I mean, they don't accept credit cards. Like porn websites. If you have a subscription, like they have some shady like line where it doesn't say porn, but like if you.
How you know that?
I just by just intuition. But like manipulation by information holders, profiling. Good question though. Would rather cash, but want to track myself. I'm just not like manipulation by information holders. Manipulation of what? What are they manipulating? It would be my question.
Oh, Nico says good. It's like you can get hacked.
It's a matter of life today, not fear. Chris Vallone has his identity stolen. That's one of my groomsmen. This dude bought everything and so much time consumed finding out who did what. Getting your identity stolen is interesting. I never had my identity stolen. I've heard that a couple of people have. But there's so many people that haven't got their identity stolen. It's like, I don't know if that's a good enough reason to carry around metal chunks in your pocket. And like, also for my business, like all the purchases I make on my credit card, they know certain transactions are this company, and that goes under cost of goods sold. Certain transactions are meals and entertainment, that goes under this. If I paid all those transactions with cash, then I would have to keep these fucking receipts, and that is fucking old school. So you can't live in fear of climate change. You can't live in fear of coronavirus, and I don't think you can live in fear of identity theft. Like, it's just one of those like things that's like, oh, you could get your identity stolen, and I get it happens, and I get we have a real life example of how it happens. But it's not something that I'm going to live in fear of. And if my identity does get stolen, well, fuck. Then I'll just do whatever I got to do to deal with it, and that sucks. But, like, I'll unlock my door. Same thing if someone comes steals my TV. It's like, if you live your life in fear of a chance of 1% thing that's going to happen, that's a sad fucking life. Like, if you get on an elevator and you think, oh, man, I'm not going to get on the elevator because that elevator might go down, then you're never going to be successful because you live life basing your calculations on the 1% of things that could not happen. I've had many bad things happen to me. I've been 300,000 grand in the hole. My dad died of ALS. So many bad things have happened to me. But I don't live life thinking, oh, these things are going to happen to me. I live life assuming that positive things will happen. And when negative things happen, I deal with the consequences in a positive attitude. And that formula, I think, is a winning formula. Advertising is manipulation in a sense. Fuck yeah, I love getting advertised things that I actually want. Not fear, it's life, man.
Which one was Chris?
Sweets.
Oh, okay.
If government becomes tyrants, that's true. That's true. Like I don't have a gun, and I'm not a big gun guy. But I do believe in, like, humans, like, citizens should have guns because of the fear of the government. Now, that is a theory. That's a fucking, like, theoretical reason. It's not a practical or a logical reason. I do think that advertisers, like, having all our information, theoretically it's bad, but practically it's not. And, like, there will be time in between when it becomes practically bad to when it becomes actually bad that I'll be able to make changes in my own life. Nico, explain what you mean by you're saying for not using your credit card, but using cash. It's not fear, it's life. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. I think the winner so far is that landscaper, 17-year-old.
Ray something.
Do I like Tony Robbins? I feel like Tony Robbins was like hip before I got into like that shit. Like I read one of his books called Money Mastery. I actually listened to it. It was 18 hours, and I listened to the whole book. I'm not like a Tony Robbins junkie, but I respect him. I don't feel anything. I don't fear anything, mostly card today. Like, you're going to the store and you're buying a pair of jeans. You have two options. You can pay with cash or you can pay with your credit card. I just don't understand why paying with your credit card would be a negative outcome in that situation. Mostly all Apple Pay, actually. Well, Apple Pay is just a credit card. I look like this. That looks cooler, right? It's empty. Last week I had all these beers here, and someone said to me, like, "Are you gonna drink all those beers?" I was like, "Fuck, probably not. This is for the look. This is for the look, baby." See this thing used to shut me off right about now. Criminals access this information on the darknet through data breaches. Dude, I mean, like Target got hacked, and like Credit Karma or Inspirion, one of those fucking credit card companies, got hacked. Like, what does that even mean?
My hospital worked for St. Francis. They got hacked.
But did it affect your life in any practical way?
They said they leak all our information.
Yeah, but did
No.
I mean, maybe I'm not the one. Maybe, one thing I always said is like, there's a thing with vaccines where it's like, if everyone takes it and you're the one person who doesn't, you'll be fine because everyone else took it. And I always say that, like, everyone in my neighborhood locks their door. I don't lock my door. And no one steals from my neighborhood because they assume everyone locks their door. Like, I do think I take advantage of being one of those members of society who doesn't worry about the problems, but I do know that other people are concerned about these issues. And I will admit that's like kind of cocky of me, but it's also kind of smart of me. I can't personally do anything about Facebook taking information or the Patriot Act. Like, I'm not that powerful, and I can choose to worry and be concerned about these things, or I can choose not to give a fuck and put my energy elsewhere. And I feel like I'm selfish, but also smart for always choosing the thing that I know other people are fighting for, so I don't need to spend my energy on it. And I also, though, trust myself to know that if society gets to a point where no one's locking their doors, everyone's getting stolen from, I'm going to be like, dude, we should fucking all lock our doors. Like, if it gets to a point where I need to convince all my neighbors to lock their doors, I'll do it. But it's not there right now. So, like, I'm not always going to believe I shouldn't lock my door. But right now, I don't need to. But if it gets to a point where I need to, then I will adjust my emotions and my feelings and my actions. Like, I don't know what to say about the data security thing. It's never affected me negatively. It doesn't affect anyone negatively. Chris, who got his identity stolen, he had to make a fucking few phone calls and a few calls. Like, his life didn't get fucked over. He's fine. So what's the problem? I'm going to use my fucking credit card because it's more convenient for me. I'm going to do anything that's more convenient for me. And the second I notice that society's not going in the right direction, I'll tilt that way. And like, if no one's stepping up, then I'll step up. But like, I kind of just like hover around. This is good. This is good. This is good. All right, I'm good. Then I spend my time making my own money, doing my own thing. And it's fucking smart. You actually acknowledge as a start. Yeah, dog. How's Britain doing, J-Buck? And I know it's J-B UK music, but I like calling you J-Buck.
He's messing me a lot. He won't get accountability partners.
Yeah, is he trying to lose weight too?
Well, he's skinny, but he's trying to like.
He's trying to gain weight.
Stop smoking, like sleep better, biohack yourself. Not eat any foods with mold in it that can turn to mold.
It's like cheese?
So anything that can have mold in it is not good for your body, he said.
I don't know. I mean, I never ate any mold.
Well, foods that can like turn.
I'm gonna live to be 150, and I eat healthy foods for sure, but I do not obsess over pure eating. Like, will I eat unhealthy food sometimes? Yeah. Do I drink on Instagram Live? Yeah. Like, is alcohol good for you? No. My belief, and this is very easy to argue against, but my belief is that longevity, health, state of mind is much more driven by a higher percentage of how you think rather than what you eat. Like, I think that's the unexplainable power of the brain that I'm interested in. Now, no, don't get me wrong. I work out every single day. I go to the gym every single day.
You didn't post a gym video?
I didn't go today.
$5.
I didn't go today. So,
okay.
Me and Shelby didn't go this week because it's like...
You did come in like at 9, so you must have slept in a little bit.
I slept in a little today. I go to the gym. If you take the past year and you average out how many days of the week I go to the gym, I probably go like 5.2 days a week. So I don't go to the gym every day. I exaggerate it. I go to the gym all the time as part of my daily routine. I eat healthy foods. I do. I force vegetables down my throat. I also eat unhealthy foods. I do value nutrition, and I meditate. I value sleep. I always meditate before you come in the morning, by the way. And I take care of myself. But ultimately, I think more important than... There's people who smoke cigarettes that live like 110. It's a formula. I don't think you smoke cigarettes, but like, I think the mindset you have is ultimately the most important thing when it comes to living a long life.
I agree.
If you had 100K and could invest in only one thing, what would it be? Myself, my company. UK is cool. People are peaceful. Been looking forward till we can jig. I think it's the word jig. Got threatened with tougher actions by Boris if people don't stick to the rules. Do you like Boris? Do you like Boris Johnson?
Never heard of it.
JB?
Never heard of Boris.
Boris Johnson? He's the Prime Minister. I'm curious. England's the fucking greatest country, dude. Besides America, we're like your little brother. But it was cute because in World War II we come saved your ass, but like also we bonded and like you guys are wise. You guys used to run the world. I love Britain. I love Britain. Britain's one of the funniest countries, one of the smartest countries. It has so much history. I do think you may have questionable associations. All politicians have questionable associations. I don't really know that much about British politics.
Is this still Parliament?
Yeah, they have the Parliament. Yeah, the Queen has no political power.
It's just
It's a figurehead. She's a figurehead. She has a lot of money, I think. But yeah, they have a Parliament. That's our Congress. Yeah, they have a great political system. The only difference between Britain and America really is they have fucking like 2,000 years of history and we have 200 years of history. So we got that little fresh kick. We got that little fresh start to be America. And, but we could never have done it without Britain, man. I love Britain. We got a little lucky too with like, we got Maine to fucking California. We got sea to sea, sea to shining sea, which is great for transportation. It's great for like immigration. It's great for being able to control ourselves. And it's great for, we got hot weather, we got cold weather, we got mountains, we got beaches, we got roads, we got everything you need. We got natural wonders of the world. America's great. I love America, and I'm very lucky to be born here. But if I was born in Britain, that would be brilliant. All right, yo, peace out. And the winner is my man. I don't know how to fucking say it. Ray X. But I'm gonna DM after this. And I fucking love you guys. Drink Grow Rich. My brother roasted me at my best man speech. And he said, oh, Drink Grow Rich with 5 people in there or whatever. And that motivated me to make this the biggest show in the world. Fucking love you guys. Peace out.